Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another edition of Archeryshack Shop Talk. I'm Jeremy.
I'm TJ.
We are back. We've passed our half a year mark. This is podcast 27. We've had a lot of stuff happen in the last week.
Oh, yeah.
T-Bob, a lot of stuff's happened.
It has.
We had our Bowstring Giveaway Friday night this past week.
Which we did live.
We did that live for the first time ever. We got to go live. That was cool. Had some people watching. Had a lot of people afterwards said they watched it, and thanks for doing the podcast. So we're glad to do them. Bodie ended up winning them. We're going to send him a setup for his bow tech. I'll actually probably do probably not like a 30-minute video, but some kind of quick video when we make them and just kind of throw that out there to be neat. But it was I think he's got a bow tech, and it was some kiwi and silver action, so that'll be cool. So we'll put that out there. We're going to start doing more giveaways. People have asked, and we will respond.
Yep.
We're going, not this week. Wait till we start going live, which is going to be next week. And we're going to give away just random stuff. Maybe it'll be broadheads one week. Maybe it'll be who knows what. So we'll figure all that out. Not this week, but next week. We're going to start a Thursday night live feed at about 6:30ish. And it'll just be a little short 20 to 30-minute thing, but it'll be something different to watch. And, of course, it'll save it after we go live. And, you can watch it later. You don't have to watch it live. But we had more people watching live Friday night than I thought we would, so that went well.
Yep.
Before I get too much further, let's talk about what we've picked as our featured product this week, and it is a very popular product in the shop, and I know everywhere. That is the Fast Eddie and the Fast Eddie XL from Spot Hogg. These things are built tough. I'll tell you what really sold me on them, and I know it's stupid, but when they came out with the double pin, so it's got two pins in there, one at the top like you'd normally shoot on a single pin, and then there's one below it, I don't know, half inch below it, and there's two dials on the where you set your yardage. So like in a situation where a deer walks out and suddenly is walking away or whatever, and you kind of look down and say, all right, well, my top pin's on 25, but my bottom one's on 34 or whatever it might be, you know that you can aim with the bottom pin or between them or whatever you need to do in a situation like that. And that's pretty cool. So it's got a dial on the side that you set the yardage by. The difference in the Fast Eddie and the Fast Eddie XL, the Fast Eddie, the regular version, first of all, is $20 cheaper, but it is, you mount it on the bow and it's there. The XL has the dovetail mount, so you can slide it off and on and that type of thing. And I'll put some closer up footage on the video here. But just wanted to throw that out there. They're great sights. We sell a lot of them. I mean, you can use them as a slide bar. You could use them for tournaments. You can add a scope on them. It comes with a single ring and a multi-ring that you can put on there. I mean, there's infinite stuff you can do. We've never had any trouble out of them. They run like 270 and 290. So, they're up in your upper echelon of sights, especially if you're, setting up a hunting bow. But it seems like more and more people don't care. They want the best stuff, and this is the best stuff. So check them out. Call us if you need one. We got plenty on the wall.
Yep. They come with sight tapes and calibration tapes in them. So if you've never used a single pin type sight, with Spot Hogg, I think they've got it figured out the easiest with the calibration tape.
Yep.
You go out, you get a 20-yard mark, you line that calibration tape up, and you go to 60 and sight in at 60, and what number the pointer falls on, it coincides with a matching tape that comes with the sight, and you put that on there, line it up with your 20 and roll it around, and you shoot a little bit, some odd yardages and, regular yardage like 20, 30, 40, and then do some 35, 45 yards. Just make sure that tape is really dialed in.
Yep, and that's simple. I mean, it's not like putting a bunch of crap in the computer or even making two marks and trying to line up a tape.
Yep.
Like TJ said, you 20, put your tape on there, shoot 60. It'll give you a number. Like yesterday we had somebody buy one, and their number was like 21. So all we did was went into the pack, pulled out the number 21 tape, set his sight back on 20, lined up 20 and 20, went out there and shot it, good to go. So it don't get no easier than that.
No.
Check them out if you're on the fence about it. I mean, we've had zero issues ever with a Fast Eddie. So.
And plus, they're made in Oregon, so it's a made in the USA product. Yeah. And we know for a fact that they do stand behind their product.
Yeah, customer service is on point, so don't hesitate. Then there's a bunch of other good sites out there too.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just saying, if you're looking at this one, you're not making a bad choice. So we had a 3D shoot today. Had more people show up than I thought. I really thought it was going to be a little bit of a flop just because I hadn't heard from a lot of people, but we still had a good crowd. We tried to put out bigger targets last night. Last night was a mess, and we said it on the live feed, but everything was busy, and it's around here right now. It's getting dark at like 6:30, maybe a little after that. But we looked, and it's like 5 or a little after, and I'm like, we got to put 20 targets out somehow before dark, and we did it. Me and T-Bob was out there slinging, but
as far as I know, nobody. I don't think anybody said anything bad. Because I know, last time we had a lot of small targets out, and we kind of heard.
Yeah. What about target 7? Did you hear anybody say about I know that we had one target, and there's a tree that fell down, and I'm like 5'10", 5'11". I could have probably made it to it, but if you're tall as TJ, you'd have probably hit the tree. So I was like, we'll just tell them you might have to kneel to shoot that.
And it was funny because the first group got here, and I completely forgot about target 7. I'm like, oh, crap. So I took off down the range, and they had just finished up 7, going to 8. And I'm like, I meant to tell y'all that, you could probably go ahead and shoot from a kneeling position. And they're like, oh, we just sent it in hot. We all got 12s. I'm like, okay. And so I think the only one that I heard anything about was our little 7-yard target that we always do.
Everybody gets wild.
But we don't have any other option with that lane, so.
Yeah. I'd be curious to know, because I fight with this. If you shoot 3D tournaments, here's the formats we've had here before, and I never know which one people like the best. Like, we've done shoots where we give away trophies, and the problem with that, I like the trophy part of it, and I like ordering them and giving them away, but 3/4 of the people never come get their trophy. Like, they don't care. So I'm like, well, I don't want to spend a couple $100 on trophies if nobody's going to even pick them up. So, like, today we did a straight-up fun shoot. So the fun shoot is a little cheaper to shoot because I'm not having to order trophies, but it's not necessarily, who got first and second and third, and there's no money involved or no trophies or nothing like that. So I know there's some people, they're just in it because they want to be the top of the game and win something. And then we do team shoots sometimes, and the fairest way I can make those is – we random draw teams, so everybody's name goes in a hat. We random draw, but then at each target, it's captain's choice. So, like, if me and TJ are together and I shoot a 5 and he shoots a 10, we count the 10. And usually at the end of that game, the scores are really, really close because of being able to count the highest score each target. And then we pay back like 50% of that pot. So the first team, and if we have more than, I think we do more than 15 people or something, we pay back 2 spots and sometimes 3. So a lot of money can be won for that. But then on those, you get people that are like, I don't want to shoot for money. It's a tournament. Oh my God. Yeah. And I'm like, no. We've had people show up that's never shot before and got paired up with a good shooter and ended up winning a couple $100 on those. I mean, so it's just, you never know.
A luck of the draw game.
So I don't know. I always struggle with which one of those to do because, we do the trophies and people want to get money. We don't do anything and people want to get something. We do money and then the people get scared and don't want to come shoot because money's involved. So I don't know. I mean, and you can't really do them all at once unless we had a couple hundred people coming, and we don't have a couple hundred people coming. So what do y'all think? Put a message. Let me know how you like it. But it seems more and more people just like a good old fun shoot.
Yeah.
But you still got, a good many in the crowd that want to shoot for something. So, last shoot, I was like, hey, I'll give $100 to whoever shoots the high score out of everybody the whole day. And that went over well. But then again, there was only about 3 to 5 people that showed up gunning for that $100. Everybody else was like, well, it'd be nice to get, but I ain't worried about it, So I don't know. I don't know what to do.
I don't know.
The best thing, I say the best thing. One of the best things, is when we give away merchandise. So, like, I remember one of the best shoots we had, I gave away, I don't remember what I gave away. I think a 3D target for first and a pack of arrows for second and some broadheads for third or whatever. And that went over well. But then the problem with that is you don't know, like, you know, if I'm giving away arrows, for example, you know, what if I'm giving away hunting arrows and like a tournament guy wins, and not that he don't want those arrows, but he's just like, well, what am I going to do with these? Or if we've got some people that don't even hunt, they just straight up shoot tournaments and they get a pack of broadheads and they're like, now what, you know? And I guess I could give away store credit or something, but I don't know. It's just a mess of what to figure out.
It is.
But anyway, let us know how you like to shoot. Do you like a fun shoot? Do you like trophies? Do you like money? Do you like stuff giveaway?
You know, a big thing too, when we've done the team shoots and when there's money involved, sometimes you get people that are just, they want to complain or anything about every little like, well, we're not shooting all ASA lower 12s, and you know, we don't have a full ASA range of targets here.
Yeah, we got Reinhardt's, we got R&W's, we got McKenzie's. We had some boys come one time and they won both times they came, and it was a couple $100, and then they complained and said, y'all don't have the official ASA targets, we're not coming back. And that's fine, but I'm like, where else are you going to go on a Sunday afternoon and win $200 anywhere within 500 miles of here? Nowhere. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So people, I just don't get it. I'd go shoot if I thought I had a chance to win or whatever. I'd ride an hour or two to win a couple $100. You know what I mean? So whatever.
I don't know, but you know, I agree. I want to know what people like: fun shoot, money shoot, or trophy. So, yep. So just leave us a comment and let us know what y'all think. And
if you're shooting a spot Hogg Fast Eddie, let us know what you think about it too, because I've never heard anything bad about them. So if you got something that, I mean, if you do or don't, say I'm shooting one, or I shot one and my sight broke in half, which I doubt, but yeah, I'd just be curious to hear something.
You ready for some questions?
Questions and answers. That sounded cool.
We got two from the same guy. So DLR sent in these two. We'll go with the first one. When would you use a 3 Vane versus 4 Vane, and what are the advantages of each?
Honestly, it is preference. I'll tell you what I found with 4. Well, first of all, I'm gonna say this, and I really don't mean nothing by this, but I just noticed John Dudley a year or two ago had done some 4 Vane setups, and it seemed like a lot of people seen it and thought, that's cool, I'm going to do it. So we had a lot of people start saying, hey, what about a 4 Fletch? And that's fine. I have no problem with that. But I think he really put it out there in the last year or two. The one thing is, if you don't watch out and you use too much of a Vane on a 4 Fletch configuration, you'll have too much drag. And what I've seen that do, one time I fletched like 6 arrows with 3 and 6 arrows with 4, and pretty much they shot good. And then I did a group test at like 80 yards, and I couldn't figure it out. At 80 yards, my 3 fletched arrows were tighter than my 4. So I started researching and doing all this crap, and pretty much it said you got too much drag, and the back end of the arrow don't like it. You know what I mean? So it's causing some problems. So usually when somebody wants a 4 Fletch, I tell them, let's go to a smaller Vane, or mainly a lower profile Vane, and then we can do the 4 Fletch. But either way is fine. You know, 3's just kind of what everybody does, and there's nothing wrong with 4. So I know John Partain that helps us. He got some little AAE short Vanes. I can't remember which models now, and they worked out great. So preference. I mean, I don't have a problem with either one.
No, me neither. It could be sometimes paper tuning with a 4 Fletch is a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes like with all those Vanes, it's not that the air is tearing bad. It's just so much crap going through the paper. It wants to grab extra paper, and you'll have to really shoot it a couple times and look and say, is that a bad tear, or is that just the Vane grabbing all this paper?
Yeah.
And that's where it works better if you got like more of a wax paper and not something that's going to tear out, as easy.
Then the second question is, what fixed blade broadhead and field tip have you had the best luck with as far as consistency between the two? And the reason he's asking about the fixed blades is he lives in a state where they only allow fixed blade broadheads.
Gotcha. I'll tell you, in recent years, those QAD Exodus heads did really well. They're smaller, they're solid. They've done tests of them shooting them into like steel drums, and in my testing out here, they flew great. But I would say any fixed blade broadhead, spin them. That's the main thing. Put them on your arrow and put them on. Pine Ridge makes that arrow test spinner, whatever. Spin it and watch that tip, because more times than not, when people are having trouble with a fixed blade, I'll spin them, and for whatever reason, either the insert's a little crooked or their tip's not screwed on right or something, and you'll see just the slightest wobble on the very tip of that broadhead, and that's causing all the problems. So, but anyway, back to an exact broadhead, the QAD Exodus has done well in my testing. There's plenty other ones that would do fine, but just in recent testing, that one did great for me.
G5's got that new Montec out.
I hadn't tested it, but I'm sure they make their older Montecs flew great when I tested them, so I agree.
Probably what, since you are limited to, since your state only allows fixed blade broadheads, I know you don't want to spend a fortune in buying 3 or 4 different ones, but it's also, too, you probably need to get a couple different heads and shoot them.
Yeah, see what goes good.
And see what flies the best for your setup.
And that's what I found out with broadheads. A dozen people come in, and you can get a dozen different answers on who likes what and hates. One guy walks in and loves rage, the next guy hates rage, one guy's ready to kill rage. I mean, it's just, and most of the time it's probably shot placement problems, but we hear more arguments in here about broadheads than anything else, and it's like, there's very few I've ever shot that I would just be like, those are junk. And that's like the $2 Walmart ones that wobble no matter what you do,
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, like I said, probably just need to get some and just, shoot them through your bow and see what works the best. All right. Next question comes in from the 864. What size wrench for limb bolts?
I wish we knew what bow. It's according to what bow. For years, sort of the standard was a 3/16, and then early 2000s, Matthews said, hey, we're going to up them, and we're going to go to a 7/32. So they went to a bigger one. But now, like some companies like Bowtech, some of the Bowtechs, they're like a 1/4 inch. So 3/16, 7/32, 1/4 inch is sort of the 3 main ones we see. 3/16 is still probably most popular, but it's just according to the bow. So I'd have to know what bow you're shooting.
Next question comes in from Sean on Instagram. Is there any way for me to install a Peep at home?
It's according to, I guess we'd need to know, is there already a Peep in it and you're swapping Peeps, or you got just a bare string in the bow and you got to install it? Because if there's already a Peep and you're just swapping it, Google a thing called a string separator. I'm sure Lancaster's got them, or somebody you can get for $2 or $3. And it's a little U-shaped device. You just stick it in there, turn it sideways, take the old Peep out, put the new Peep in. You could do that at home easy. What you can't usually do without a press is stab that thing into the string exactly right.
Yeah.
And install one without a press. So, and then the redneck way, and it's really not dangerous, but definitely be careful if you try this. If you pull a bow back, all the tension pretty much transfers to the cables, so there's very little tension on the string. And I mean, like, don't derail somebody's bow, but if somebody will let you, when you pull your bow back, or a ladybug just landed on me, holy crap, that scared me a little bit. Anyway, feel their string because there's no tension on it, but I've seen people pull them back, then take the string separator because there's very little tension on the string. But what you'd have to really be careful of, I hit the mic, is to not push that string left and right and make it jump the cam. So that's semi-sketchy to do that. So hopefully they answered it. If you're just swapping a Peep, easy. If you're trying to, there's that ladybug, look at it. There he went.
In other words, if you've already got a Peep in, use a string separator, but if you don't, it's probably not a good idea to try.
Yeah, just get you a press, find a bow press.
Yeah. I have never thought anybody would ever send this in, but I see it.
Oh, Lord. Is it a naked picture?
No.
Damn. Well, according if it's a man. That's Billy Bob. Oh, shit.
Oh, this comes in from 619. Do either of you have archery tattoos?
Well, no, I'm kidding. I don't have any tattoos.
Me neither.
I have considered it. I'm going to be honest about this one. In my late teenage years, working in the bow shop and everything, I was shooting Matthews and hardcore Matthews, and I thought, I'm going to get me a Matthews tattoo. And then I kept thinking, man, as soon as you do that, something's going to happen. They're going to get sold, or they're going to go out of business, or whatever. So I was like, I can't do it, because, like, what if 20 years down the road, they're like, what is that? Here's an example. 3 boys that come in here had started a club about 10 years ago called Big D's Archery, and they all went and got big old Big D's Archery tattoos on their arms, and a very prominent place on their arm, too.
Yep.
The club didn't last but about a year and a half and closed down, so there's no Big D's Archery, and they all got those tattoos, and everybody's like, what is that? So I don't want to end up in that. TJ, I think, thought about getting one two years ago. Easton did free tattoos in their booth, and it didn't have to say Easton on it. They had like 10 tattoos you could choose from. And if you look back to those videos, Anthony Brookie that helps us, he got one. And I know you were thinking about it.
I was.
But no archery tattoos.
No, and I'm surprised we hadn't got this question before. I mean, but, you know, I'm like you. I've considered getting a tattoo and everything, but
I've seen some badass ones, and even old Macon that comes out here has got a nice archery tattoo. And but my thing about tattoos is one of two things would happen. I'd get it, and then I'd be like, why did I get this? Or I'd be like, ooh, let's get 20 more, you know. So I'm good.
Everybody, like my wife, she got one at the show, but everybody I've talked to that has tattoos says once you ever get the first one, they become addictive. And I mean, if that's your thing, hey, I ain't knocking nothing, but I mean, I do want one. I have an idea in my head, but I just need to go talk to some people to get it drawn out.
Well, we're not getting the matching leprechauns like you asked. I'm just saying that now.
That was you. That wasn't me.
It'd be cool.
So, anyway. Oh, me. Have you guys tried Bloodline string material? And this comes in from the 723.
We have, and we're going to order some and do some more. What we found out with Bloodline, so Bloodline string material just came out less than 2 years ago. They claim there's no wax in it. There's some proprietary coating on it. And there definitely is, because it's not gummy with wax, and it's super slick. And that's sort of the problem with it. When we lay it out on our jig, it wants to slide off the post. It's so slick. We put a couple sets on some of our bows around here, and it seemed to do well. So we're, really within the next 2 to 3 weeks, I've already put it on and advertised it a little bit, but we're going to add it to the website, and we're going to start offering it. It's a little more pricey than other stuff, and people hadn't heard of it as much, but I'm going to order. We've had flow green and black. I'm going to probably order, 6 or 8 main colors and advertise that we got it and just see if there's interest in it. And then we've probably just built, 4 or 5 sets with it.
Yeah, it ain't been many.
Get some time in building with it and just see more or less what we think. But it's good stuff from what we can tell, and they just came out with a serving. We tested it. It seems to be pretty good. And so we're going to get some more of that in soon. And like I say, you'll see it on archershackstrings.com probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks available.
I know they're gaining ground because I was just, scrolling through Facebook sometimes. We've got a buddy of ours out in Idaho. Butch Baker, Baker Archery Products. He sells string making, jigs and stuff like that. So, but I know he's posted a lot of pictures of people using Bloodline on his jigs and everything. So maybe it's got more popularity than we think.
Yeah, I'll get all the main colors: the black, flow green, probably electric blue, green, maybe brown. All the main stuff that people order, and we'll see what happens. Maybe get some feedback on it.
Let's see here. This one comes from Roy. Can stabilizers affect bow tune?
That's a pretty good question. Believe it or not, yes, and I didn't know that really until just a few years ago, because I had a bow, and it had 2 mountain holes on it. It had a lower one way down at the limb cup on the back of the riser, and then it had a higher one up, not far below the grip. And that bow, believe it or not, would paper tune with that stabilizer up near the grip, but would not paper tune with it down low. And I tried and tried and tried, and I don't remember who told me. It might have been the PSE rep. I don't remember, but he said, move that stabilizer and just see if anything changes. And I guess I didn't have that much weight, but I probably had 12 or so ounces on the back. I guess it was putting enough torque into that riser to where it wouldn't paper tune down there. So I've seen it a time or two. Somebody else had that problem. It could have been Partain on his Hoyt. I can't remember, but yeah, stabilizers affect tune. That's why I always, if we're working with somebody in here, tell them, put everything on your bow. You sight, stabilizer, because I know, a riser's metal and it's not moving much, but there's probably more tension and twist and all that. And that's one thing I do love about those prime bows is they use that higher grade, what is it, 80?
82XS, I think.
Whatever aluminum they use is stronger. I like that because I've only seen 2 or 3 risers warp in my day. 2 of the 3, one I think came from the factory bad. It was a Matthews, but it was a long time ago, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the other 2 were probably put in a press wrong. So, what we got next, T-Bob?
All right. This one comes from the 617. What does it mean when someone derails their bow?
It means, so, kind of goes back to what I was talking about. When you pull your bow back, there's very little tension on the string and a lot of tension on the cables. So with very little tension on the string, if you were to torque that riser left or right by you holding it and then shoot it or let it down, it could jump off the track of the cam, and you heard people say blow up, but derail, I guess, is the right word. The string jumps off the cam, and it could warp the cam and cause damage, or you might luck up and nothing happen. So we see it, especially during the busy season a good bit.
Mm-hmm.
What normally causes it is 2 things. People grab a super short bow with high let off with their fingers, and they snatch it back, and they're putting all kind of torque into the string left and right, and they let it down and twist it, and it jumps off. Or we hear this a lot. My buddy grabbed my bow with his fingers and either dry fired it, which is just letting it go, or derailed it. So that's what happens.
Next question comes in from the 910. Should I square up to the target when shooting or more of an open stance?
I'm more of an open stance man because here's my thinking. Let me back up. When I was a kid, I guess you'd call him my coach. He wasn't my coach, but the guy that I really first started listening to about shooting, he was always like, square up to the target, damn it. But if you're square to the target, which means your feet are perfectly parallel to the target, or is it parallel or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm having to almost fight my body left to get there, you know what I mean? But if I square up to the target and then take my left foot, shooting right-handed, and bring it back just a smidgen, when I bring my arm up, it's naturally pointing dead at the target. So what I believe is, whatever you can do to not have to fight your own body and muscles is going to make you shoot better. So if I square up to the target, I'm kind of fighting to stay there because my bow's wanting to push to the left. But if I got a little bit of an open stance, when I draw back, I'm there. So I'm an open stance guy. And like I say, the less you can fight your body and muscles and skeletal structure and all that, the better. Because you're going to spend more energy and you can get tired quicker and that type of thing. And that goes into a lot of form stuff, but that's my answer.
Yeah, and it's one of them too. If you're hunting out of a deer stand or something and don't have a real big platform, you kind of can't use a big open stance, but everything still applies. It's just a little bit more confined space.
Yep.
Our next question is from Gary on Facebook. Should I shoot with my glasses on or contacts?
I don't wear them, but TJ does.
Yeah.
So TJ can probably answer this the best.
If you wear glasses on a daily basis, then I would shoot with my glasses because everything, if you're running a lens, a clarifier, and it affects everything. If you wear contacts, I can't wear contacts because well, I can, but they're glass. I can't wear like a, the throwaway kind of contacts. So I shoot with my glasses on, and I don't have any issues or whatnot. The only thing that I will with glasses is rangefinders. Each rangefinder is a little different, and binoculars. I had to go and actually test some rangefinders to make sure when I put it up to my eye with my glasses on, I could still see the full range of target, whereas the rangefinder I had like a little rubber cup over the eyepiece, and without pressing it against my glasses, which pushed the glasses into my face, I couldn't get the whole target. So that's just a kind of a downfall with that. But shoot with them on, or and I know people that go back and forth with their glasses and their contacts. I think so whatever you wear daily, I would probably shoot with those on.
I know the only thing that I would think could be a problem, I've tried to shoot with sunglasses on before when it's been real bright or whatever, and I don't know if it's just the way I anchor or whatever, but like my right eye sees right into the bridge of the nose, so I can't do it. And I know they make glasses without all the structure like that, but I guess for me that would be a problem with some glasses.
Sunglasses, yes, but most people, most glasses like corrective lenses.
Yeah.
Unless you just got a real wide frame or something, and
Gotcha.
Nose bridge, it really doesn't. The only thing that sucks for me is during the summertime, the sweat wants to pull up like right here in the corner. So when I draw back and anchor and I'm looking through my peep,
Gotcha.
I can see like a little smudge of sweat right there, and it aggravates me.
Yeah.
But other than that, and
Gotcha.
that's all the questions I've got.
That was some good ones. Thank y'all for sending them in. If you have questions, feel free to comment. If you're watching on YouTube, comment below, and we'll look them up before next podcast. A lot of people text them in. The number to text them in is 843-560-9898. You can email us, archershack@gmail.com. You can comment on Facebook, Instagram. I think y'all figured it out, but the easiest is just comment on YouTube, but I get a bunch of stuff through all kind of different avenues, so that's fine. That was some good questions.
Yep.
Let's talk about, we're going to be starting a weekly live feed in addition to our other two videos coming up, not this week, but next week. So what we're going to do is, and I've said this a few times, but I just want to kind of make sure everybody knows what we're doing. We're going to have the podcast start coming out on Tuesday morning. So we'll back it up a day because now it comes in on Wednesday morning. Then Thursday evening around 6:30, we're going to go live for 20 to 30 minutes, and it'll be sort of a tech type of thing. It could be a lot of stuff. We don't want it to be like one specific, has to be this every week.
No.
But it could be, us putting in a peep sight, and here's how you tie it in. Or it could be us fletching arrows, or us going over the parts of a bow, or making a bowstring, or whatever, So it'll just be different every week. But look forward to that in about 2 weeks. And then still on Sunday, we'll have our video that comes out usually Sunday evening at 9 p.m. And that's been a mixture of video of shoots, bow reviews, just that sort of thing. Us fixing bows, restringing bows. So we kind of mix it up. So that we'll start having 3 videos a week instead of 2. And we had thought about doing this podcast live. And then I was like, that's probably not a bad idea, but we can't make it as high quality of a video as we can using what we're using because we have to do it off the phone. And we started recording this podcast off the phone when we first started. And it's just a fine video, but we can do it in like 4K and all this stuff the way we're doing it now. So I think we're going to stick to that. And then we'll be on the mobile device for the live feed. And it's still a pretty good, I watched that thing from last night. It's still a pretty clear picture. We just got to figure out a few little things.
Let's throw this out there. What would they think about us doing a live podcast on location from a shoot, like Total Archery or something where, we're going to be spending a couple days. See if they might like to see a live feed or something like that.
That could be cool. And I know
because
when Total Archery rolls around, we'll probably be leaving on a Thursday night. Problem would be I don't know if we'd have signal. We could maybe do it from a car, but the sound would suck. We could wait till Friday night, and that week and do a live one from the hotel or from the shoot or whatever. That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But let's see what y'all think about it. See if if you want us to go live on the podcast or just keep it the way it is.
And then my main thing is audio with these things. Like when we did the one in the car going to ATA, of course the audio sucked because all you could hear is like car noise and cars and trucks passing and all that. And it still got a lot of views. But when I'm watching something, and I've seen it in this podcast when I've rewatched it, when we first started, we literally just had the phone set up. Then I was like, well, hey, I got these lapel mics. Let's plug those up. And then that helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got these mics, and these, everybody was like, that's way better. I'd rather hear stuff better, even if the video's a little sketchy, versus, if it sounds bad, I'm like, eh. But anyway, that's our live schedule coming up here in about 2 weeks. Not this coming week, but the next. You'll see us, and it'll save on YouTube. So like, if you don't watch it when it's live, that's fine. You can go back and watch it later. Upcoming videos. One of the big ones I'm going to do, it'll probably still be a week or two before this comes out, but on my personal bow that I'm going to shoot tournaments with and have been shooting tournaments with, the Prime Black Series 9, I built strings for it, and I'm putting 60-pound limbs on it. So I'm going to completely tear it down, put the new limbs on it, completely put it back together and tune it. And I'm going to make a big video about that, and it'll be a week or two. I kind of been putting it off because it's going to take a little time to do all that, and it takes twice the amount of time when I'm trying to video it and do it. So I really need like a Sunday with nobody here just to do it. So I'm going to do that the next week or two, but that's coming up. We should have some more shoot videos coming up because I think next weekend there's one at Kiwi Bowman. I'm sure I'll video it.
Yep. Foley's going on right now. I think the shoot-off starts in about 25 minutes our time. I think it's 5:30 Central out there.
Yeah, that'll be cool to see who wins. I know Dan McCarthy's he's like, was it 26 up or something?
Man, I heard somebody say he was 20 up yesterday.
Yeah, he's spanking them. I don't see him getting beat, but I could be wrong. We got, as far as local shoots for your local listening, we had a shoot here today, of course. We'll have another one sometime next month. Hadn't figured out the date yet, but will this week. We're going to the R100 in Homer, Georgia, which is an hour from us here in about what, 2 or 3 weaks?
2 weeks. Not this weekend, or not next weekend, but the week after.
I got you. We're going to go to it. If I can't talk, if a R100 comes near you, definitely check it out.
Yes.
It's the one with like the giraffe targets, the elephants, the rhinos, all the wild stuff. So I'll probably have some kind of video I do about it. And I've done videos in the past, and I'll never forget. The first one I did be 3 years ago now, and I forget what music I put behind it, but they copyrighted me on it. It was some popular country song, so they took it down, and then they let me put it back up, but with no music. And I'm like, this is boring, because it was like 20 minutes of just, nothing. So then they let me put some YouTube music behind it, and whatever music they put behind it was awful. It was like some grunge, like dong da da dong da da dong. And nobody watched it because of that music. So last year we did another one, and it worked out. But I'll try to do or 2 years ago we did another one. I'll try to do a better one this year and get some of the good shots. But that's coming up. Total Archery's coming up in May.
Yep.
And that'll probably be the one where we might get some footage, like some live stuff, and definitely some video from the shoot going.
I'm hearing more and more people say they're going to the R100 and tack around here. So if you haven't went to either one, the R100 or the Total Archery Challenge, and if it does come close to you, it's worth.
Oh Lord, somebody sent me something and it went wild.
It's worth to go. It's worth it to go shoot because you'll get addicted to it. I mean, we've been addicted to this for how long now?
Too long.
Well, it could be worse.
Oh yeah, we're not on the cocaine.
Nope.
But I don't know. I'm just looking forward to some different types of shoots. I love the local shoots, but it's just kind of like it's the same thing every time. And then the R100 and the tack. I wish tack would come. It's about 6 hours for us to get there. I wish it was a little bit closer, but it's fine. It's still fun to go to.
It'd be a little quicker Atlanta traffic and Atlanta construction.
Last year we sit for an hour or two, almost not moving. It was bad.
It was.
And it was. Last year we were Thursday, was it? We wasn't going to leave till Friday morning.
Yeah.
I was like, TJ, what if we just leave tonight? What if it was a slow day? I was like, what if we just leave at 4 or 5 o'clock?
It was a spur of the moment thing.
And TJ's like, well, let me run home and grab my stuff. So I was like, let's do it. So I run in and start packing my stuff. TJ's packing his stuff. We leave out at 6 or so.
Yeah.
Everything was fine. Get to Atlanta, stopped at 8, left there 10 minutes on whatever we were on. I think we got off 85 onto something going towards 75.
Yeah, we hit the bypass.
And we stopped. And I mean stopped. And it's late. I mean, it's 9, 10, 11 o'clock. I don't remember. We ended up getting there.
We ended up rolling in where we stayed at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
And we crossed the timeline, so it had backed up an hour or whatever it does. And it took forever to get there. And I was like, for the love of God.
But we come back through the mountains and we realized, okay, this is the way we should have went.
Yeah. So I guess we won't try Atlanta this time.
No.
It was bad.
At least we found that cool little restaurant up there, Chevelle's.
That was a neat place. Somewhere in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I'd go back there.
Yeah, me too. Had a good cheeseburger.
But yeah, our shoot today went good. I got to come up with something big for next month. Next month's a busy month though. You got some indoor stuff happening for South Carolina. We got R100, just a lot of stuff. We may or may not hit an ASA. I love ASA, but dang it, we had Augusta that was about an hour and a half, 2 hours away at the most.
About 2 hours at the most.
And they moved it, so now we're going to drive almost 4 hours, which is not a big deal, but it is, kind of, you got to figure out, do we close the shop or what do we do here? So we got to figure that part of it out.
I had heard that the reason they didn't outgrow Appleton is where it's close to Augusta, but I had heard that they had cut some of the pine trees out because they got some pine beetles down there, and so they didn't have enough woods to put the range on. So that's why they pulled out of Appleton.
I wish they would go to a dang tourist area. They went to Myrtle Beach several years back, and I know it flooded, and that's kind of, I guess, why they didn't go back. I don't know why they didn't go back, but like Pigeon Forge, Myrtle Beach, like Charlotte, because then you could take the whole family, let them play around while we shoot, and all that type of thing. But anyway,
I agree.
Well, I can't think of nothing else to talk about.
Me neither. That's all the questions, and
so I guess shoot us some questions.
Yep.
We'll answer them next week, and then the next week we'll be going live and doing something. The giveaway, it will probably that week we go live, we'll do another giveaway of some sort. Who knows what it'll be. We'll come up with something. We'll probably just, like every other week, or I don't know, start doing some kind of giveaway and just see how that goes. I think it's kind of neat. Can't give away unless we can get somebody to throw one in company-wise. We can't really give away like a bow. I wish we could, but
yeah.
Smaller, broadheads and maybe some arrows and that type of thing. We'll try to get into some of that.
Maybe a quiver of some sort.
I wish we kept saying subscribe, and then we can go live, and that happened. So now I wish we could really get our subscriber count up, and then I could get a hold of some of these companies and be like, hey, we got 50,000 or 10,000 subscribers, and we want to do a giveaway, and I can show them all our metrics, and they would probably give us some stuff. So once we get a little bit bigger than we are, I'll probably start doing that. And I really don't think a lot of these companies would have a problem saying, here, give it away, do a overview of it and give it away. So That would be very neat. But anyway, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week, and thanks for subscribing to our channel.
Y'all have a good one.
See ya.